Hello everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to set up Webhook for multiple Elementor forms. So I am an owner of a business, okay, and to collect my customers data for various reasons I create form with the help of Elementor. So my objective is that to set up a Webhook with Pabbly Connect between multiple forms that I've created with the help of Elementor, and for that we are creating this video. And after setting up the Webhook, I want that as I've created two forms with the help of Elementor, I have created two separate sheets for the particular form, and I want to transfer the data of the form submission that is done with the help of Elementor to be transferred into two separate spreadsheets. For that, what we're going to do is firstly we are going to set up the Webhook for multiple Elementor form, and then we are going to connect these forms with Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, you click on this button right over here that says Create Workflow. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Setup Webhook for Multiple Elementor Forms. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. From the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down arrow. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select Elementor Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, we are going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Setup Webhook for Multiple Elementor Form, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, another says Action. Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our trigger step by clicking on this arrow right over here, and for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Elementor. So I'm going to select my trigger application as Elementor, and for the trigger event I'm going to select it as New Form Submission. I'm selecting my trigger application as Elementor and the trigger event as New Form Submission because I want to connect multiple forms that I've created with the help of Elementor with Pabbly Connect with the help of this Webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. With the help of this unique Webhook URL, we're going to connect multiple Elementor form with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, we have to follow the steps given here below in order to connect multiple forms with Pabbly Connect. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to open my first form that I've created with the help of Elementor. So as you can see, this is the first form that I've created with the help of Elementor, and I want to connect this first form with Pabbly Connect with the help of Webhook. So how we're going to do that? Firstly, from the left side of my screen, we are going to scroll down. Over here it says Webhook. We're going to click on Webhook right over here. As soon as you're going to click on Webhook, over here it is asking for a Webhook URL. So I'm going to paste the Webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After pasting the Webhook URL, we're going to click on Update right over here. As you can see where it says Update, we're going to click on it. As soon as we're going to click on Update, this form that we have created right over here is updated. Now I'm going to open to the edit page of this form. As you can see, this is the edit page of this form right over here, and over here it says update. We're going to click on this update right over here. As soon as we're going to click on update, over here it says the page is updated. So this is the form in the name of participant form, as you can see right over here. So I've connected this participant form with Pabbly Connect, but I also want to connect another form that I've created with the help of Elementor with the help of Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to open the other form right over here. So as you can see, this is the second form right over here, and the top over here you can see that it is the Contact Us form with Elementor right over here. So I also want to connect this form with Pabbly Connect. For that, from the left side we're going to scroll down, and over here it says Webhook. We're going to click on it. So as you can see over here it is asking for a Webhook URL. We're going to paste the same URL that we have pasted in our previous form that we have received from our Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to paste the same URL, and then I'm going to click on Update right over here. As I've updated the form right over here, I'm going to open the edit page of the form. So this is the form in the name of Contact Us, as you can see right over here. This is another form that I've created with the help of Elementor, and now we're going to update this form as well by clicking on Update right over here. As you can see over here, it says the page is updated. That means we successfully set up the webhook between multiple forms that we have created with the help of Elementor. For the participant form, I've updated the webhook, and for the contact us form also I've updated the webhook. So this means that we successfully set up the webhook. Okay, so if I'm going to take you back to the workflow that we have created, I'm going to scroll down. Over here it is saying waiting for the webhook response. Now in the response, we are going to receive the response for both of the forms that we have connected with Pabbly Connect, that is participant form as well as the contact us form. Okay, so what we're going to do is, over here what we're going to do is, we are going to do a test submission of the form that we have created with the help of Elementor. Either it can be the participant form or the contact us form. We're going to do a test submission of these forms, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the form submission or not. For that, I'm going to select the contact us form, and I'm going to do a test submission of this form right over here. How are we going to do the test submission? Over here you can see a link is provided, so I'm going to open this link in a new tab. So as you can see, this is the contact us form that I've created. As you can see over here, it says contact us. So this is the contact us form that I've created with the help of Elementor, and with the help of this form we are going to do a test submission. Okay, it is asking for the first name, last name, email and the phone number. So we're going to fill in all the details. Firstly, for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as user. Then for the email over here, I'm going to write it as testuser@pabblytuts.com. So this is the email. Next, for the mobile number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. So as you can see that after filling all the details, I'm going to click on submit to do a test submission. As soon as I'm going to click on submit, over here it says the submission has been successful. So this means that we've successfully done a test submission. So now I'm going to open my workflow that I've created in my Pabbly Connect account, and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test submission that we have done right now or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow. I'm going to scroll down, and yes, as you can see right over here, a response is captured in our Pabbly Connect right over here. As you can see, for the form name as lead form. So the contact us form right over here is in the name of lead form. So for the name of the form as lead form, we have received a response. So the first name as test, last name as user, for a phone number, dummy mobile number, and for the email as testuser@pabblytuts.com. We successfully connected this webhook with the form contact us right to over here, as you can see. And also, as we have connected participant form that we have created with the help of Elementor with Pabbly Connect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another form submission with the help of this form that we have created in the name of participant form, and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of this form as well or not. For that, firstly I'm going to open my workflow that I've created, and then I'm going to click on recapture webhook response. I'm going to click on yes. Over here now it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to open my participant form. So this is my participant form. This is the second form that I've created with the help of Elementor, and I've also connected this form with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to open this link in a new tab, and I'm going to do a new submission. As you can see, the form name is participant form, and this is the form that I've created with the help of Elementor, which is also asking for the first name, last name, email and the mobile number. So I'm going to fill in all the details. Firstly, for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as demo. Then for the last name over here, I'm going to write it as account. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as demoaccount@pabblytuts.com. For the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. So after filling all the details, I'm going to click on send to do a test submission. As over here you can see a submission has been successful. That means we have done a submission with the help of the form that is participant form, and I've created this form with the help of Elementor. So now we're going to open our Pabbly Connect account, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect has also captured the response of this form or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow that I've created, and yes, as you can see right over here, response B is captured in our Pabbly Connect. For the form name over here as new form. So the name of my form that is participant form is new form right over here. And now we're going to tally the response. For the first name as demo, last name as account, email as demoaccount@pabblytuts.com, and for the phone number, dummy mobile number. So this means that we successfully set up webhook for multiple Elementor form with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this means that I've successfully set up the webhook, these two different forms that I've created with the help of Elementor with Pabbly Connect. So now whenever a new form submission is going to be done with either of this form, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response in this trigger step. Now as I want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Elementor, I have created two separate Google Sheets, as you can see right over here, and I want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done by either of these form, automatically into the separate spreadsheets that I've created, the data should be transferred. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to add our action step, and for the action application over here, we're going to select it as router by Pabbly. And for the action event, we're going to select it as conditionally run. With the help of router, we are going to separately put two routes in our workflow that we are creating. Okay, so now we're going to click on connect right over here. As soon as we're going to click on connect over here, the two routes are given, that is route 1 and the route 2 right over here. And now we're going to separately set up route 1 and route 2. Firstly, we're going to click on set filter and action steps right over here. So as you can see, a route 1 is going to open, and over here a filter condition has to be applied. So what filter condition are we going to apply over here? So for that, we're going to select the label, filter type and the value. For the select label over here, I'm going to select the form name that we have received in our previous step. So the name of the form was new form, that is technically participant form right over here. Okay, so when the new form is going to be equal to new form, then only this workflow should continue. Okay, so I'm going to set up my filter over here as when the form name is equal to new form, that then only this workflow should continue. So now I'm going to click on save and send test request after setting up the filter. As soon as I'm going to click on save and send test request, over here for the message it says the condition is true and the status of the filter right over here is successful. So this means that we successfully added a filter into our step. So as soon as we have added the filter right away, that means this route 1 is only going to continue when the new form is equal to new form and the form name is equal to new form right over here. And as I've already told you, the new form is the form name, that is participant form right over here. So what we are going to do is I'm going to add another action step. And as I want to transfer the data of the form submission that has done with the help of this participant form, and I've created this form with the help of Elementor, automatically the details of that form submission should be transferred into my Google Sheets. So for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. And for the action event over here, I'm going to write it as add new row. So I've created a spreadsheet for my participant form over here. You can see this is a spreadsheet that I've separately created for the participant form that I've created in my Elementor. And I want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of participant form that I've created with the help of Elementor, all the details of that participant form submission should be transferred into the spreadsheet. Okay. So after selecting the trigger application and the event, I'm going to click on connect. As soon as you're going to click on connect, a new window is going to appear on which you have to click on add new connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can choose this option. After that, we're going to click on sign in with Google. As soon as you're going to click on sign in with Google, a new window is going to appear which is asking for a permission. I'm going to click on allow as a safe process, and my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. After authorizing over here, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet for my participant form in the name of participant form / Elementor. So for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select it as participant form / Elementor. Okay, next it is asking for us to select a sheet. So I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1. As you can see, I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1. So for the sheet, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. Next, it is asking for the first name, last name, email and the phone number. So in my spreadsheet that I've created 4 fields in the name of first name, last name, email and the phone number. And I want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Elementor, with the help of participant form, the details of that submission should be transferred under these 4 fields. So in my workflow right over here, these are the four fields that I've added into my spreadsheet. So what we're going to do is, for the data of these fields right over here, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this automation workflow. And how we're going to do that? For that, click on this field right over here. As soon as you're going to click on this field over here, it says Elementor new form submission. I'm going to click on this arrow. So this was the previous step of this automation process, and this was the response that was captured in this step right over here. Over here, as it is asking for the data for the first name, so I'm going to map the data for the first name right over here. As I map the data right over here, the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in a previous step, automatically the data right over here in place of this mapped data is going to be updated. Okay. Next, it is asking for the last name. We're going to map the data for the last name right over here. We're going to map the data for the email as well right over here. And lastly, for the phone number, we're going to map the data for the phone number right over here. As I've completed mapping all the data and all the other details, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As soon as you're going to click on save and send test request, a response is going to be received, and the response that we have received is a positive response. So now I'm going to open a spreadsheet that I've created with the help of Google Sheets, and I'm going to check whether the data is of the form submission successfully transferred into my spreadsheet or not. For that, I'm going to open my spreadsheet. And yes, as you can see right over here, for the spreadsheet as participant form / Elementor, the data is successfully transferred into this spreadsheet. For the first name as demo, last name as account, email as demo account @pabblytools.com, and for the phone number, dummy mobile number. So this means that we successfully set up the route 1 in our workflow that we have created with help of Pabbly Connect. So if I'm going to go back, we have successfully set up this route 1 right over here. So I'm going to click on close right over here. So as I successfully set up the route 1, so I'm going to rename this setup right over here. And the name of this root one is going to be participant form slash Elementor. So this is the name of my root one. So I'm going to update this name right over here. So as I updated the name, this is the first root that we have created in the name of participant form. So for the root for the participant form, I've successfully created the root. Okay. So after setting up this first route, what we are going to do is we're going to set up our second route. And as we want to transfer the data of the form submission that we have done with contact us on this another spreadsheet, what we are going to do is we're going to set up a second route. And for that, firstly, what we are going to do is we are going to change the response to response A, because we have received a response A for the contact us form. That is why I'm selecting the response over here for the A that we have received, for the first name as test, last name as user, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, for the email as testuser@pabblytools.com, and for the name of the form as lead form. Okay, so with the help of this response, we are going to be setting up our route 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a route right over here. And now we're going to set up our route 2. So I'm going to click on set filter and action steps right over here. After that, over here we have to apply a filter condition. The filter condition would be the form name should be equal to lead form. Okay, then only this route 2 should be working. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our filter over here for the label as form name, filter name as equal to, and the value as lead form. That means when the form name will be equal to lead form, then only this route 2 should be working. Okay, so I'm going to click on save and send test request next. As you can see, message over here says condition is true and the status is success. That means we successfully applied the filter for the route 2. And now what we want is whenever the form submission is going to be done that I've created with the help of Elementor for contact us, automatically the details of the contact us should be transferred into our sheet name contact us Elementor form. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application, we are going to select it as Google Sheets, and for the action event as add new row, and then we're going to click on connect. A new window is going to appear, and as I have the existing connection, I'm going to select this option, but if you want, you can add a new connection. I'm going to click on save next. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. Over here it is asking for it to select a spreadsheet. For the spreadsheet, I'm going to select it as contact us, because I want to transfer the data for the form submission done for the form as contact us to be transferred into the spreadsheet name contact us Elementor form. That's why for the spreadsheet I've selected as contact us Elementor form. Next, for the sheet, I'm going to select as sheet 1, because I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1 right over here. Next, it is asking for the first name, last name, email, and the phone number. So I've created 4 fields in my spreadsheet in the name of first name, last name, email, and the phone number. So what I want is that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of this form that I've created with the help of Elementor in the name of contact us, automatically under these 4 fields the data should be transferred. Okay, so that is why over here you can see in workflow, first name, last name, email, and the phone number, these 4 fields are provided. So these are the same fields of this spreadsheet that we have created. Okay, so what we are going to do is for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. How are we going to map that? Click on this arrow, and as we want the data for the first name, I'm going to map the data for the first name. Next, it is asking for the last name. I'm going to map the data for the last name. For the email, I'm going to map the data again, and for the phone number, I'm going to map the data. As I've completed filling all the details, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As you can see over here, response is received, and the response that we have received is a positive response. So now I'm going to my spreadsheet that I've created with the help of Google Sheets, and I'm going to check whether the details of the form submission that was done with the help of Elementor for contact us form is transferred into our separate spreadsheet or not. So I'm going to open the spreadsheet, and yes, as you can see right over here, the data is successfully transferred into the spreadsheet for the first name as test, last name as user, email as testuser@pabblytools.com, for the phone number or dummy mobile number. So this means that we successfully connected this separate spreadsheet with the form that we have created with the help of Elementor, as you can see right over here. So as we have done that, I'm going to click on close, and now what we're going to do is I'm going to give a name to this route 2. So I'm going to give a name to my route 2 as contact us Elementor form. So I'm going to update the name right over here. So as I've created 2 routes right over here, so this means that we successfully done the setup with the help of Pabbly Connect, and now we're going to check the setup is successful or not. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a test submission of both of the forms that we have created, and we're going to check whether the response of both separate forms are transferred into 2 separate sheets or not. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to do a form submission for participant form right over here, and we're going to check whether the data of this participant form is added into this spreadsheet or not. For that, I'm going to do a form submission. I'm going to open this link in a new tab right over here. So this is the form that I've created in the name of participant form. It is asking for the first name, last name, email, and the phone number. So I'm going to fill in all the details. So as you can see that I've filled in all the details for the first name as dummy, last name as account, email as dummy account @pabblytuts.com for the phone number, dummy mobile number. So as I've filled in all the details for the participant form, I'm going to click on send to do a submission. And yes, as you can see that over here it says the submission is successful. So now I'm going to open my spreadsheet that I've created with the help of Google Sheet in the name of participant form Elementor, and I'm going to check whether the data of that form submission that we have done with the help of participant form is successfully transferred into our spreadsheet or not. For that I'm going to open my spreadsheet, and yes, as you can see right over here, the data is successfully transferred into my spreadsheet for the first name as dummy, last name as account, email as dummy account @pabblytuts.com for a phone number, dummy mobile number. So if I'm going to open my other spreadsheet, as you can see the data is not transferred into this spreadsheet. So this means that we successfully created an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now we are going to do a test submission with the help of the other form that we have connected with the help of Pabbly Connect, that was contact us. As you can see, this was the other form that we have connected with Pabbly Connect in the name of contact us. And now we're going to do a test submission of this form right over here, and we're going to check whether the data of that form submission is successfully transferred into our other Google spreadsheet or not. For that I'm going to open my form. So this is the form in the name of contact us. This is the link of the form. I'm going to open this link in a new tab. So this is the form that I've created with the help of Elementor in the name of contact us. It is asking for the first name, last name, email and the phone number. So I'm going to fill in all the details. As you can see that I've filled in all the details for the first name as demo, last name as account, email as demo account @pabblytuts.com for a phone number, dummy mobile number. So after filling all the details, I'm going to click on submit to do a test submission. As you can see that over here it says your submission was successful. That means you successfully submitted the form. Now I'm going to open my other spreadsheet that I've created with the help of Google Sheets in the name of contact us Elementor form, and I'm going to check whether the data of this form submission that we have done right now is captured into our spreadsheet or not. For that I'm going to open my spreadsheet, and yes, as you can see the data successfully transferred into my spreadsheet for the first name as demo, last name as account, email as demo account @pabblytuts.com for a phone number, a dummy mobile number. So this means that we successfully done an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So my objective for this topic was that how to set up multiple Elementor form. That means I have created a form with the help of Elementor, and I've created multiple forms with the help of Elementor, and I wanted to set up the webhook with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple Elementor form, and this is how we create a setup with the help of Pabbly Connect for this specific case right over here. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.